a whole African mother to a retirement home. You can't stay with her because she's pooping on herself. Now you can't do that. You want other people. You're paying people to do it. Hello, my name is Venji and welcome to my channel. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're here for the first time, my name is Javenchi K. I do lifestyle and travel videos, but if you're a returning subscriber, you know what you do. You guys are just my favorite people. Guys, you are almost at 4,000 subscribers. That means a lot, hey? That means a lot. My goal was to get 5,000 subscribers before the end of June, but because of the pandemic, I take what I get. So we are almost on 4,000 subscribers, so please subscribe to my channel and let's dive in today's video. So I have to say this is the most requested video. I asked you guys earlier when the pandemic started what type of videos you guys wanted. One of them was cost of studying and the other one was my cultural shocks or things that I find different comparing Tanzanian to South Africa. So for the new ones, I'm a Tanzanian based in South Africa. I'm a university student, third year, hopefully my last year, fingers crossed. So in this video I'll be giving you some of my, this is like a part 2. I did my cultural shocks. I did a cultural shock video. I'll link it here. You might want to watch that, then come here, but you might also watch this, then go to that. So I'm gonna give you some of the things that me living in South Africa as a Tanzanian a bit triggered me, shook me. I was like, what is going on? Like, is this how you guys live, you know? So yeah, please subscribe, and we're gonna go to number 1. I have a book, so just to get all my facts right. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about money. South Africans have money. South Africans are loaded. I'm gonna give you a short, small example. You know the people called blessers, like rich guys that sponsor ladies or rich women that sponsor guys, or the other way around. South Africans men or South African blessers buy someone a car, a Range Rover Evoque, and buy them a house, and when they break up they don't take it. Should I rephrase it? They spoil someone with a Range Rover, like a Range Rover. That could never happen in my country. People don't have money like that. Like Tanzanian blessers will give you an IST, and that's like $3,500. 3,500, period. That's max. We do not have money to buy someone a Range Rover. So let's just put out of the way. South Africans have money and South African can spend money. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm still in shock now. A whole Range Rover. Well, the second thing is gonna be credit buying. So South African, you could buy car on credit, you could buy houses on credit, you could buy clothes on credit either. Like you could go on shopping like H&M and buy on credit for 6 months or 12 months and pay them in installments. We don't do that in my country. I can say maybe the one reason we don't do that because people don't have enough, most people don't use things like credit cards, and I think majority of people are not middle class. Compared here, I think like as much as there are a lot of a lot of poor people, but there are also like a lot of middle class people who are employed in corporate and stuff. So I think that's it. But if you do this in my country, we're not gonna pay you back. We're not gonna pay you back. We're gonna pay the first installment, and you're never gonna hear from us. So don't try it. Don't try it in my country. But I think it's a very good way. Please let me know in your country if you guys do credit buying. I know most. Tell me if you're in an African country and you do buy things on credit, and I would just be interested to know where you're from and which other African countries that do that. The third thing I'm going to talk about is staying in queues on public transport. You know, when the first thing you think of South Africa is South Africans are physical people. So staying in queues for me was a shock, because in my country it's survival for the fittest. You're gonna have to go through a window, you have to fight for your seat, because especially when it's like peak hours, you're gonna fight someone, you're gonna punch someone, you gotta do something to get yourself a seat in that public bus. But in South Africa, people queue, first come, first serve. The better you come, you get a seat. That for me was South Africa. I salute you. I think every African country should follow this. Take this. Stay on cues. Stop pushing pregnant women. Stop pushing old people just to get a seat. Have I done this? I've actually fought a few fights. We have been in wars looking for a seat in Tanzania. The other thing I'm going to talk is the rioting culture. South Africa, and this is not coming from a bad way. I just feel like compared to my country here, people are not scared of police and they're going to fight for what's right. If they think things are not going the right way, they're going to fight for it and they're going to stand for it. So for me, this rioting culture, I don't want it to go. I'm not like I'm promoting it, but what I'm trying to say is that they have a picture of they know what they want and they're going to stand for their rights. If you get what I'm saying. But in my country, we're a bit, I won't get into that. The other thing is retirement homes. Wow. So here in South Africa, there are retirement homes where you take your mother or your father when they are old so that they can go rest and be taken care of near a hospital. But they live with other old people. You can never do this to my mom. I mean, my mom. You can never do this to an African mom, actually, you know? It's like, so you're very rich or you don't have time to take care of your mother. Your mother that kept you, the whole you, in her stomach for 9 months. You're not taking her to a retirement home. You and your wife, you and your husband can't take care of her. This doesn't appeal, actually. I'm just gonna try call my mom and just hear what she thinks. But you can never do this to an African mom. What are you? I know it's very convenient, but are you kidding? A whole mother, a whole African mother to a retirement home. You can't stay with her because she's pooping on herself. Now you can't do that. You want other people. You're paying people to do it. Call her now. And let's see what she has to say. Half of the time my mother doesn't have internet. Okay, I'm gonna try call her later. Thing is, the government gives monthly allowance or grants to his citizens. If you're disabled, you have children but you don't have a job, you're unemployed, and if you're old, the government has funds allocated through SASSA to give people. I think this is very good. It was a shock, as I said, because here I'm not trying to say the cons and pros. I'm more like trying to be like, these things really shook me. I was shookish, like, ha. Like my jaws dropped because it's a very good thing. It's very thoughtful. So in my country we don't do that. I mean, we don't. Our country, our economy is going up, but we still have things to deal with. I'm not being rude, am I? Like, let's just end it like my country doesn't grant money to citizens that are older, disabled, or unemployed with children. Also, with the COVID-19 pandemic, they say they have been granting 350 Rand to citizens that don't have, I mean, they're jobless at the moment and they can't keep up. I know it's not a lot of money, but it's not 350 per household, it's 350 per house, per person in a house. So if you're 4 people, you get, math has never been my thing. This is an embarrassment. 10, 3 and 6, 950. 350, 750, 1,400, 1,400. So yeah. The other thing I'm going to talk about is racism. I mean, the color of your skin is really, really something that's going to trigger you and get discriminated in different things. I've personally experienced racism, not to maybe a very high extent, but I have. But I've also dealt with it thoroughly, if I'm being yeah, but that's a story for another day. But racism, color of your skin is one thing that you can experience in Africa. I see people, you know, the Black Lives Movement and everything, Americans and Africans living Africans living in Europe and America and Asia and China, they're talking about racism, but in South Africa, there is racism. And this is why, because there are different races in South Africa, white, Indians and blacks. And you might think, why is this a cultural shock about racism? As I'm saying, some of these shocks for me, it's more of my ignorance. I didn't know this. I didn't research much before moving here, but I was like, wait a minute. The other thing is, students are allowed to have phones here. Like, you could go to school with your phone. I'm talking about secondary school, not university. I mean, because university, it's so obvious. But in my country, you can never go to school with your phones unless you're from a rich. I mean, you're going to a very rich school. That means you're from a very rich family, like the Cambridge system and stuff. But the nectar, you ain't going nowhere with your phone. Nowhere. The other thing I'm gonna talk about rape. I wanted to keep it last. Something that where I'm from, I'm not saying there are no rape cases. There are rape cases, but the statistics in South Africa are bad. But it shouldn't be like this at all. There shouldn't be rape cases at all. I feel like me and you who are watching this, we have a very big role in talking about rape to our children, talking about rape to our parents. Let's instill consent to people. People should know what consent means. People should understand. Men should understand what no means. I've talked about this in so many times, and I feel like I need to do a separate video about rape because it's something that is just, it's getting out of hand, you know. Interpol say South Africa is the first country with the most murder cases. I mean, gender-based violence and rape. And from where I'm from, basically in Tanzania, rapes are not cases that you hear more often. You hear them once in a while, but in South Africa, every few seconds a woman is raped. In an hour, more than 100 cases are reported in police stations. So for me, this was like, what? So I'm just gonna end here. Please guys, don't forget to be joining my lives every Sunday at 8, and we're gonna be talking about different things. And I think this Sunday we're gonna be talking about rape. I think it's really a point that we need to discuss as humans of this nation, humans of this world, you know. So those are some of my cultural shocks. If there are any, not cultural shocks, like things that shocked me when I moved to South Africa, if you have any that you've also have experienced moving from one place to another, please let me know. But these are some of the things I was like, I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, we don't do this. These are the things that really made me think like that, and just remember that meme. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and stay tuned for more content. Till next time.